Alright, this is the bargain bin review for Out Cold. I got this at Big Lots. It stars John Lithgow, Terry Garr, and Randy Quaid. And you think, that's a pretty good lineup. You can't go wrong with those people, can you? Apparently you can. This is a dark comedy. Starts out, John Lithgow's character is an army buddy with the guy in that picture here, Ernie. And John Lithgow's name in this movie is Dave. Terry Garr's name is Sonny, and we'll just call Quaid Atlas. In the movie, they're buddies, and Sonny's kind of a buddy too, and they're all friends and stuff. And they're from them two were butchers in the army, and they open up their own local butcher shop. And Sonny marries Ernie. I guess it was kind of a sweepstakes for who would marry her out of the two of them. It's just dark. It's not comedy. You know, Sonny has affairs on Ernie. Ernie has affairs on Sonny. Also, Ernie beats Sonny.
Business stinks, huh? Look at all this money.
Give me that! Oh. Don't you ever touch my wallet again, you understand me?
Oh.
Bitch!
And there's a lot of male nudity. And I didn't need to see that, especially from Ernie. Meanwhile, Dave is this helpless, just sap, overworked guy who just keeps on working at the butcher shop, keeping it going, while Ernie plays around and steals money from the cash register. They let you see that the door to the meat locker, the freezer, it locks on its own if you don't have this big key. Sonny, more upset that she couldn't get money out of Ernie rather than the beatings, decides to go to Atlas, who is a private detective, to try to get evidence against Ernie so she can divorce him and make off with a lot of money.
These are pictures of people screwing.
Yes. And the high technical quality made all the difference in court.
Like this one here.
There's one scene in this movie that seems really tacked on, and it comes back to play later on, but it's a scene where you see this lady doing laundry, and she starts to undress to actually wash the clothes that she's wearing right then, and you're asking yourself, do people actually do that, or is this some kind of strange plot to a porno flick I'm watching? Maybe it is. And finally, Dave comes in, and you're like, okay, yeah, John Lithgow doing a nasty. Let's get to it. But really, it's his sister in the movie, and he lives with his brother-in-law and sister.
The machine is over here. It's wet over there.
You don't know how to work with cement. You have to put down at least 6 inches. You put what? A ½ inch?
Well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I gotta get to the store.
Remember it? And I remembered it well because it was so damn well tacked on. Good gracious, this movie sucks. This is the only time you'll ever see his brother-in-law or his sister. Although I could have done some more with seeing his sister. There's a real woman for you. None of that skinny ass, tiny, microscopic, anorexic bitches. That's a real woman. Back at the butchery shop, you see Dave and Ernie discussing how much chicks Ernie's banging, and Ernie doesn't think that Dave can get an ugly chick to bang him. So this prompts a impromptu game of ragball.
You still think I'm uncoordinated? I think you're an asshole.
Wait. When did your attractiveness as a person depend on a game of ragball? I want to play. I think I could run past a lot of people and thus be a very attractive person in this movie's logic, which doesn't really come into play in the real world. Damn. After a while, Ernie is kind of hotboxing it, gassed as hell, goes into the freezer. And there he is in the freezer, and Lithgow kind of leaves him there. You know, it's weird. It was like unfinished business. But whatever. Leaves him in the freezer. Then Sonny comes along, Ernie's wife, and she gets in an argument with him and locks him in the freezer. And Atlas took pictures of all this, but still can't put it together. Well, because Sonny was wearing a wig, because she's a whore. Dave thinks he killed Ernie, but really Sonny killed Ernie, and Sonny gets Dave to go along thinking that he killed Ernie. Meanwhile, Ernie's dead, and Atlas is still a buffoon. Sonny gets Dave to take the body up into the woods and make it look like he froze his ass off hunting. But before this, I would say the only funny part in the whole movie happens. And it's a funny little, just a tiny little clip with Atlas and Dave going at it. It's Quaid and Lithgow doing something actually funny, and I can enjoy it. There is a fudge sickle stuck to Ernie's face.
Where is he?
Who?
Who do you think, Geary? The husband, your partner, Ernie?
He's gone hunting.
Hunting. Hunting beaver, from what I hear. What's that?
It's an ice cream bar. You want a bite?
I don't eat that stuff.
It's delicious. Oh, golly, that's good.
Let's get something straight, Geary. Wherever he is, I'm going to find him, with or without your help.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, if you can think of something, this is my card. Call me.
Dave goes up in the woods, Atlas follows Dave, and Sonny follows Atlas. And Dave plants the body. He goes around to some local bars, some caverns, and spreads around rumors that Ernie's indeed up there in the woods hunting. And Atlas finds the body. Sonny finds Atlas finding the body, so Sonny has to kill Atlas. Also want to note, this music in this movie, very annoying. Very, very annoying. It gets on my nerves. I'm tired of hearing it. I hear it when I sleep. It's driving me crazy. Sonny turns on Dave, knowing she has to kill him to get rid of anyone that knows of her misdeeds. She tries to kill Dave, but she can't quite. And then Dave gets her back in the most... Alright, this is the most out-of-character move he makes the whole movie. Because the whole movie, he's this one-dimensional sap, and then we find out he was able to frame Sonny, get into her house, plant Atlas's dead body into her laundry room, do a poor cement job. You see, it's coming back. Remember that tacky scene I talked about? Huh? He did a poor cement job. And the police will believe him over Sonny because he's a man, and men know how to do good cement jobs.
You son of a bitch! It was Dave.
He would never have been found if she'd known how to work with cement. She put, what, half an inch. You gotta put at least 6. There you go. At least 6 inches.
Dave is a moron throughout the movie until the very end. He's able to do something right. It's so bad. people like this movie. I saw good reviews for this movie. This movie is not good. This movie is bad. It's very, very bad. Stop telling me this movie is good. It's a bad movie. Don't watch this movie. Don't waste your time. I want my $3 back. You got John Lithgow and you got these other guys wasted for an unfunny, dark comedy film. It's not dark comedy. It's dark bullshit. That's what it is. The only way I could salvage this review is I'm going to go out on a high note. I'm going to go out with Dave's sister.